Yo, I'm Electro, and if you're like me, you kind of for your whole life you had a problem with reading. You know, every single time when we were in school and you got assigned to read this book, you never wanted to read it. My teachers were always telling me, oh, your kids don't read at all. And when I was starting self-improvement, this habit literally just switched like this. Because I understood that in books I could find knowledge that I couldn't find even online. So, I understood that if I wanted to level up in life, I would need to read, a couple of books. So, whenever I understood this, I started reading a lot of books. For a couple of months, I read a book a week. And today, I'm going to give you a couple of books that totally changed my life. Now, right here with me, I have 5 books. And then online, I read like a lot of other books that I'm going to mention in this video. But I truly think if you read, you can literally pick any single one of these books and it will change your life. I think like each one of these books that I read changed and impacted at least this channel in a way in some videos. So, without further ado, let's actually go into the first book that I ever read, which is actually really stereotypical, and it's not Rich Dad Poor Dad. It's actually Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Now this book I read when I was starting self-improvement. The first month that I started self-improvement, I read this book. It took me like 2 or 3 weeks to read it. I know it's a lot, but it has like 300 pages. I'm not sure if I'd even recommend it, low-key. I mean, it's a nice book, but it low-key hasn't done that much for me. But that's the book that is kind of at the bottom of my list. Let's go into the second book that I actually have with me, and it's probably my favorite book. It's Goals by Brian Tracy. And on this channel, I talked a shit ton about this book. Like, holy shit, bro. I talk about this in like 10 out of 100 videos. So this is like one of the best books I have ever read, definitely. It's a little bit of a bigger format and it has like 200 pages, so it is a little bit of a harder read. But trust me, this book will totally change your life. All of the most of the habits that I do now actually come from this book. The goals I have came from this book. How to fix them, how to actually get to those goals came from this book. This is literally like, if you ask me for a book that's literally guiding my life, I will give you this book. This is in Serbian, by the way. All of these texts are in Serbian, just so you know, but you can see what I'm saying. You can have it on the screen. And by the way, I'm going to have like a full Amazon link for every single one of these books, so you can go ahead and buy them. But this is definitely a book you have to read from this video. I want you to get it and I want you to read it. Trust me, this is the best book I have ever read, bro. Let's go into some online books that I think definitely impacted my life the most. After I read Think and Grow Rich, I went to Dotcom Secrets and Traffic Secrets by Russell Brunson. Now these changed my perception of selling. I definitely forgot a lot of the principles from these books, so I need to reread them. But trust me, I got my first sale because of Dotcom Secrets. I literally made a whole sequence. I made a full a fitness course for one of my friends, and I literally got him to buy from me for like $25. But that was my first sale in my whole life because of these books. So trust me, these books will totally change your life. And I haven't read Expert Secrets, but Traffic Secrets and Dotcom Secrets are 2 books that I highly recommend you read. Now this is a book that is probably the most mentioned in self-improvement. It's The Way of the Superior Man. This is not, you don't have to read this book if you're only focused on growing, on goals, and you aren't focused on like love and intimacy and the relationships. But literally, when I read this book, my whole relationship that was in before, so my ex relationship, everything got, I understood exactly why did we break up, the mistakes I made, everything. The literal book totally explained where did I get wrong, what should I do, how should I do it, how should I change. And I think it's like a guideline to intimacy, a guideline to your love life. So if you're focused on that right now, that is the book you have to read. Let's go into another one of hard copy books. This is Who Stole My Cheese? Simple. A book that has, let me see how much. It has 85 pages. 85 pages. I literally read this twice, and both times I read it within a day. This is like literally about change. So aspiring change in you. And if you want to read this, you can go and read it in like a day. So I highly recommend this book. That was pretty much it for the videos I read.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no. What the fuck, man?
That was pretty much it for the books that I wanted to talk about. So I'm going to go and rapid fire some other books that I would highly recommend you read. And there is one, I got 2 more books to actually recommend you, and then I'm going to rapid fire some of the other books that I have read. Now, the first one of these 2 books is The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. I was reading, and holy shit, bro. It actually might be my favorite book I have ever read. This is hands down the best one I have ever read, but that might be my favorite, if you know what I mean. Definitely changed my life. Got a couple of videos out of it on this channel, and it's a great book. I highly recommend you read it. And the second one of these 2 books is, you probably might guess it, is How to Win Friends and Influence People. I talk about this book in nearly every single video. In my last 7 videos, 5 of those videos, this book was mentioned in. And it's because it has so much value in my life. So much. If it was, like I said, the guideline to my life, it would be this book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, and How to Win Friends and Influence People. Those 3 books are definitely the books you need to read. So I'll go and spitfire some other books. I right here have 2 books. One I haven't read, and one I'm reading right now. So this is Triggers by Marshall Goldsmith. This book, great. I would highly recommend you read this book, but I still haven't finished it, so I can't talk about it. I will definitely talk about this book as it is from a single video, because it definitely has a lot of value. And then the book that I think will change my life forever, and will be probably my favorite book, it's The 48 Rules of Power by Robert Greene. I think this book will totally flip my life around, but I still haven't read it. And I will also have like a full guide for this book also. But some of the other books that I will recommend you is Deep Work by Cal Newport. That book is great, especially if you need to get some work done. It's definitely one of the greatest books that you can read on like work specifically. And then what else did I read? I think that was pretty much it. I read Crush It by Gary Vee. That book I wouldn't recommend, low-key. I didn't really like it. I don't think the key to money is passion. I can't agree with that, for me at least. But if you want to read it, you can go ahead. But if you can take 3 books from this video, like I said, Goals, Brian Tracy, the How to Win Friends and Influence People, Dale Carnegie, and then The Art of Not Giving a Fuck, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. Those 3 books, and you're pretty much good for, well, not your life, but for starting. Definitely those 3 books are my biggest heartwarm recommendations. That was pretty much it for this video. If you enjoyed it, click the like button, subscribe button, and also note the bell. Maybe even drop me a comment, recommend me some of the books that you are reading. And if you're interested in some of my other content, you can click and watch this video. And yeah, it'd be the reason, and I will see you tomorrow, my friends. Peace.